Well, you won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Drug-free's the way to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, Miss Musso, we were just doing a promo.
Welcome to Home Wrestling League.
I am Penny Dreadful, joined by Drew No Gimmicks Needed Radley and Crystal the Casual at the Unicorn Soundboard, and this is Home Wrestling League, and it's another big wrestling weekend. The best thing for me about having two big active wrestling promotions out there, and I can never count TNA, Impact, or NWA because they're there, but they're not like big in the way the AEW is that there's always a wealth of events we get to see. Like, how long has it been since we had multiple pay-per-views in a weekend to watch? Like since WCW days, right? At least.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, we'll get into a few notes before we cover King and Queen of the Ring. That is awkward. They've got to change that up the next time they do this because it's so weird. The Collision Go Home Ospreay got opened up. I can't remember if I've seen a lot of color on him before, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Like I used to seeing Ospreay like dominate in the last couple of weeks and months since he's been getting this push, which is fine. It's fun. But I enjoy watching him get the shit kicked out of him too. It's a nice balance.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, when he ultimately beats Swerve in front of all those people, then they're going to pretend that Swerve is going to. Well, Swerve has to walk in the villain. Like it won't be the first time a black man walks into a bunch of place with English people, and they're like, "We need to kill this blackie." It's gonna be 70,000 people being like, I hate this black bloke.
Yeah.
And then
they'll have some work to do if we get to Wembley and it's Ospreay Swerve. They gotta put some heat on him quickly because right now they're faces. They're both over.
If the 2021 Euros shows you anything, that English people will boo the fuck out of black people. Like they ruined those 4 English players' lives who were black, who missed those goals.
I forgot about that. Those poor guys.
Yes.
Good Lord. Are they still playing for those teams? Do you know?
Well, they're Euros, so they're from England, so they're playing for their home country.
Yes.
Makes it even worse.
Oh God, those poor guys. Death Triangle finally back. I am so glad to see them because I think they're great as a trio. Their entrance when they're coming out, and it's one with the they set it up really nicely. I kind of like that kind of circular thing they've got going on with the stage, and lights here, lights there. That was great. Put the trios belts on them at Wembley or perish. And this is what I was thinking before Ospreay opened his mouth about Ricochet. Did you see this?
No.
So Ospreay is offended on Ricochet's behalf because, he's doing these little speed, matches, and he's just disappointed with his booking since he's been over at the E, which makes sense. I can see that definitely. I've been of that opinion too. There was a time a couple of months ago when I was trying to talk to my brother, who was very much of a tribalist. And he was like, I don't like AEW because, they hoard their talent. And at the time, it had been like months since we'd seen Ricochet on TV. So I was like, shut up. But he had a point about like not seeing Ricochet because he is so talented. And like he dropped to Gunther and just Gunther went on this, reign of terror. And like we didn't get to see him hardly at all anymore. So Ospreay saying, I don't, like his booking. And we, had such a run in the indies, will always be brubs. Maybe he can come over to AEW. And then I thought, that's where you got to stop. Because I've run out of counting the amount of very talented, high-flying guys who don't get time in AEW. What makes you think bringing your buddy over to where you are is going to bring the same results that you've had? That's not going to happen. I could very easily see Ricochet jumping ship if it were not for Samantha and him getting the exact same treatment that everyone else gets in AEW. Nuts.
I
Understandable, but nuts.
I think it's more along the lines of Ricochet opened up those checks and was just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay a couple more months. And
Of course.
as much as I don't really like, the speed is okay with me. I like, I'm not gonna watch it every fucking week.
At all.
It's a gimmick and it'll go away. Like, it's not gonna be around forever.
Oh, yeah.
So
How long was the 24/7 belt around?
too long. It was about what, from 2009 to about like 2022.
Ooh,
Like
shit.
Triple H was the guy who got rid of it because that's when Nikki, and
She
then
pulled the
just
Medusa.
dropped the belt on the thing. And this was when Vince had his charge, and everybody was just like, "Is he out?" But I don't really know. So, like, everything was kind of
Is he really
wait
gone?
and see. And then he came back, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And then the death nail happened, and they're just like, "Oh, he's never coming back. Let's dance on this motherfucker's grave." It's like that house landed on him, and then all the Munchkins just came out and were just celebrating, and then gave them shoes to Triple H, and we're just this is like, all right, Triple H, just go down this, just go down this
Wizard of
golden road.
Oz references.
It's like
With
Triple H,
Trips is Dorothy.
yeah, Triple H just picked up William Regal and Shawn Michaels, and then they're skipping down the road.
It's okay, I'm here now. You can come back now.
And then TKO, they found out they were behind the curtain, and like it was great. It was great.
He's right about the way they utilize Ricochet. True, but it doesn't mean that bringing him over to where you are would produce anything. Like, that's cute. That's what everyone says about their job currently. Like, come over here to my job because I'm happy right now, but it doesn't mean it'll be the same for you.
Yeah,
Cute,
Suge Knight said it. Suge Knight said it too. It's like, if you don't want somebody all up in the videos, dancing, come to Death Row. And we live in a weird time. We live in a weird time where both Suge Knight and Puffy probably not the best two. Like, Suge Knight is more likable than Puffy at this current moment. It's like,
ain't Suge locked up?
oh yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why he's likable. We don't get to hear from him.
So he ran over somebody with a car. So like, that's why he's in jail.
I like that. That's why he's in jail.
Right? Of all the other things, that's what got him. Ugh.
It's always the little things, isn't it?
It's not because he clearly saw who fucking shot Tupac because he was in the front seat. It's not like all the times that they beat up people. It's not the time that DJ Quick was there and stomped that dude in the head and killed him. Like, it's not all those other times. It was just, hey, I'm gonna run over somebody at a donut shop.
Vehicular
in
manslaughter.
California.
What happened to the person he ran over?
Dead.
Vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
Oh boy, goddamn. At a donut shop? And maybe Suge is more likable now because he's actually in Clink.
If Vince is Puffy, then Tony Khan is Suge Knight.
Vince McMahon is to Puff Daddy. It's
Suge.
Suge Knight is to Tony Khan. That's an SAT question.
Right. Rome is to a pork chop. Quick SummerSlam news. They made up for Minneapolis not getting WrestleMania by giving them SummerSlam. And they announced it for next year, not even this year. 2 nights. Why? Okay. How is it eventually there's every like big 4
Yes.
of the year? Why?
To get more wrestlers on there. Like, the fact
True.
that they even had to do that meant that they were absolutely going to do WrestleMania in Minneapolis, and they took it away. And like, hey, we feel bad for you. So in 2 years, we're definitely going to come back and do a 2-day festival of this. And I'm like, SummerSlam is a 1-day thing. Like, it is 1 day. Like, you could do the Royal Rumble in 2 days because now you could do that.
Yeah.
Like you could potentially even do Money in the Bank for 2 days. Like have the Money in the Bank be the main event. Be the main event each day.
I'm so tired. Like WrestleMania is already so bloated. Look, I guess it's fine.
You could do it with the Rumble.
You could do it with the Rumble
easily.
I just hope, and my hope is for them to just continually, beef up all these events so that you can feature more people on the roster. That's a good and important thing. However, make it interesting. Like, book something good.
Spectacle is good for a quick burst, and then you need substance. So I get what you're saying, where you're like, we can't just have zany shit happening for 8 hours. We need to have quality.
It's only this year and last year, because I've been watching WrestleMania consistently now since the COVID one. And only this year and last year were they watchable. Like the one with, for me anyway, the one with Roman and Brock, I slept through a good amount of those. You have more people on the show, you make more money, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Great. Like it's whatever. I just don't, even with 2 nights, it's still like 5-6 hours.
Yes.
So fucking much. God, that is my hope. If you're going to do that, make it more interesting. And trips automatically make King and Queen of the Ring more interesting, because now these 2 winners get title shots at SummerSlam. When did I can't remember when any one got a title shot because of winning King and Queen of the Ring. I remember a few weeks ago I said that like King of the Ring is kind of like a slammy that you wrestle for. Like it's only kind of a cute gimmick thing, but it doesn't really mean anything, There
were different times where somebody got a title shot. Owen Hart 94, Mabel 95. Stone Cold didn't get his, Triple H, and then it stopped for a little bit.
He's like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it stopped for a little bit, and then they brought it back with Brock Lesnar. And that's when he beat his first black person in The Rock for the championship. And
dismissive wanking gesture.
And yeah, usually like this is the first time in a very long time that somebody's getting a title opportunity because they won King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Makes it important now.
Yes.
Look how easy that is.
Like winning can get you rewards, and that is something that
right
been away for a long time.
Wow. Like automatically right now you have 2 matches booked. You get to spend from now until then building to them.
Yeah, they have it's 2 or 3 months, right?
Yeah,
because if it's SummerSlam, there's 2 events in between.
Yeah.
So
I got time.
If Drew McIntyre, when Drew McIntyre beats bisexual Undertaker, then Gunter's gonna
which is a term of endearment, everyone. It's cute.
Baby girl. That's another one he likes.
Yes.
Welcome to this complete Jeddah, Saudi Arabia travel guide, a city of contrasts where ancient traditions meet modern aspirations. Nestled on the coast of the Red Sea, Jeddah is a city that effortlessly blends the old with the new. From the timeless charm of its historic Al Balad district to the glittering skyline that speaks of its future ambitions, Jeddah is a city that never ceases to enchant its visitors.
But let's go ahead and get into the King and Queen of the Ring results. What
Blood Money in the Bank.
Fuck are they going to call that? Blood Money in the Bank? If they do this event again in this way, they've got to change that up, like royalty in the ring or something like that. King and Queen of the Ring. It just doesn't roll off. I don't know how they manage to do it.
It's because that moniker of King of the Ring, it was one of the 4 pay-per-views.
Yeah. And that's easy. King of the Ring.
No, it was one of the 5 pay-per-views. They had 5 pay-per-views at one time.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. It was Rumble, Mania,
Rumble,
King
Mania,
of the Ring, SummerSlam, and then
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And like between SummerSlam and Survivor Series is a long fucking time.
It is. They would have a few of them in your houses, just kind of random stuff.
They had to bring in the in your houses because like Vince needed, more. Like it was because the first in your house is sold for like $20 because it wasn't really like a main pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, we'll just charge this at a fraction of the price," and then it became. Then they were losing too much money, and like, well, we'll just make it full price, and that was the first one where the guy won the house, which I am friends with the guy who won the house from
really.
Yeah, Matt Posticelli. I've been to a couple shows with him, and met him through the front of the show.
That guy.
Yeah, met him through the front of the show. Tommy Mahoney, him and Tommy are good friends. So
yeah, I would love to hear about that guy.
Yeah, he's a
sometime.
Well, I mean, we'll probably see him in Vegas.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be there. Of course, everybody's gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They know him around those parts.
Oh, gotcha. He's Vegas local too.
Vegas local, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. What was it you hated about the commercials? I did see someone say something about the picture of all the women in their swimsuits in the Red Sea and being like, women there can't do that. It's so tone deaf. And I was like, hey, I get that. Sure. I do.
I feel that way too. But it's one of those things where it's just like, guys, come here for tourism. It's like of course we treat everyone that is not a man like shit. And if you walked out looking the way you're looking right now, we would stone the shit out of you. But come here and do our tourism. We only killed Jamal Khashoggi like 6 years ago. So like that's all over. Like there's a reason why a bunch of people did not want to do these shows. Like we talked about it last week. There's a reason why all those people fucking for some reason were held for hours on end because they were held hostage. And no one talks about it.
Yeah. It has changed. Well, has it changed over the years? Yes. Little by little. Because like I was looking up the women's gear over the years, and for the first maybe the first one with Natty and Lacey was just very plain because they had to wear the bodysuit and some like giant t-shirt, and that was the case for all the women's matches for like maybe 3 years or so.
Yeah, that's when they threw
exactly.
That's when they were throwing shit at Natty while she was walking down the stage.
I know now they get to wrestle like in their like bodysuits without wearing an extra potato sack over it. I wonder if things have changed for the women as they are like there and like doing their thing. I would be curious to know that. Like, how did they even get to take those pictures and post them? I mean, even in the last 5 years or whatever time since they started doing it and been back and forth with, there was one event that I was doing research for earlier. And I think it was Liv and I think one other person who traveled over there with the expectation of getting to be in a match, and they didn't let him do it.
Like how Samantha Irvin was supposed to announce, and then they were like, "Nah."
Right? Yeah.
That's what happened this weekend. No, that's what happened this weekend. That's what they said. Where it's just like, we don't want a woman to do that. So Samantha,
don't even matter what she would have worn, and it would have been fire too.
I mean, Samantha Irvin's a bad motherfucker. Like we like it's not an issue. It's just the way that they treat women, the way that this is trying to make them look good, and it's just very. To me, I'm like, this is just really fucking disingenuous. So that's why I call it blood money in the bank.
You're not wrong. I mean,
not wrong
there's a lot of like major U.S. entertainment acts that have gone over there and have gotten a lot of shit for it.
Yeah,
a lot of people, including. I know Beyonce has, and people were pissed about that.
Yeah.
That she would someone else really big went. I don't know who was it.
Taylor Swift, maybe?
No, she knows better. Honestly, like that's not her crowd.
Was it J-Lo? Did J-Lo do it? I mean,
well, J-Lo needs a win at this point.
And there was someone else who went. It was like they paid them like Rihanna. Rihanna's done it. That's who. That was the last one I remembered who did it. But yeah, like big name acts go over there, and they try to be like, look, we have these big names. Like they wouldn't be here. It's like, no, they want the millions of dollars you're giving them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like anytime you see really like a Instagram model or an IG model being like, hey
Oh,
guys,
going to Dubai, yeah.
I'm going to Dubai,
what's
and
up
I'm
there.
like, I bet the fuck you are
Yes.
being used as a
Right?
prostitute.
Yeah. Nope.
Like, sure.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
God, it's all very weird.
just come back.
All right, so as soon as it began and I saw Becky's music hit, I was like, oh, she's dropping. Okay. It's just a matter of how it was gonna happen, because I don't know why. Why is it that I kind of think that is anytime I see someone coming out first, like if I see a match go first, I'm like, I know what the outcome of that is gonna be. I don't know, what's that about? Is it an instinct thing?
It's an instinct thing. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, like if you follow the story long enough,
Yeah, you can call it.
the only reason why Liv didn't win it in the battle royale
Mhm.
was to make this moment
Yes.
bigger.
Mhm. Yes. And you were right.
Yeah.
As usual. Per use.
No, it's hard.
It's so hard being right all the time.
It's like, I mean, our super fan KP would know. Like he's always right about everything.
You're a regular
He knows
what
the
is it?
struggle.
Yeah,
What is it? You're the Cassandra of our group.
yeah, exactly.
Greek myth. Cursed to tell the truth and nobody believes you till it happens.
It's like Becky's outfit was one of those outfits where
It was a good outfit. It's a good outfit. It looks great on her.
it's one of those outfits where I'm just like, was that comfortable to wrestle in?
Right? I thought so too. Because I was like, is she gonna take like this part with the lapels off? Didn't.
I'm betting it was some kind of like really, because I'm thinking of a fabric that would be comfortable like that to move in but would still retain shape. It's probably like a ponte knit.
Sure, yeah.
Something like that. It feels thick and heavy, but it's very, movable.
Mhm.
So it might
Yeah.
be a little warm, but
I thought so.
it's movable.
Yeah. It was
But it looked great.
amazing. I loved it.
It looked great.
So
But
the
yeah,
LMRT rolls on. LMRT definitely sounds like a fucking therapy modality. I don't care for it. And personally, I don't think that the revenge tour is over until she's in front of Rhea again. To me personally. Like if this was her, she said, oh, it's over now and this is my goal. I don't really feel like you've wormed your way into the Judgment Day. Like I don't feel like that's over.
The beginning of Raw this other day,
Mhm.
because the previous week we had Dom and her walk out of that room, and then the beginning of Monday Night Raw, you have her and Finn getting out of that same SUV. So they're setting it up really slowly. The fact that they're trying to disband the Judgment Day because Finn is, because on last week he was just like, man, like Priest, I miss you out there. I kind of want to win with you. It's like, nah, man, I'm on to doing other things. And then that's when I think Finn is gonna fuck him in the chin. Like he's gonna have to screw him for this to go down.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be Dom,
Mm-hmm.
Finn, JD McDonough. Like Jordan Devlin is a much better name. That's why I hate.
Isn't it? Yeah.
That's why I hate when he changed to JD McDonough.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And Liv. And I think they're going to have to get a heavy, but the Judgment Day is going to definitely turn on each other.
Yeah.
And I'm just.
I mean, that's like a mainstay in wrestling, correct? That people eventually turn on each other.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Like Edge created the group and then got kicked out 3 months later.
Yep. Got to keep it fresh.
You gotta keep going. Gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
He's in a completely different company now. So like they ran with his idea.
Yeah. Now, calling Liv the Sydney Sweeney of pro wrestling, does that mean she's not talented? I'm pretty sure that Sydney Sweeney is talented. But in fairness, I've only seen Sydney on Euphoria.
Like the thing with Liv is I feel like people like the promo she cut on Monday was one of those promos where the message was good, but
Mhm.
the way she said it was
The delivery was off.
Yeah.
awful.
Okay, the delivery was
And
not good.
and everybody
Delivery is important.
Awful.
yes.
Delivery is important.
And and people that like her were giving her a pass where it's just like, I didn't really find anything wrong with that. It's like, well, yeah, no, you, like you're horny for her. Stop it. Like,
Yeah, no,
you look at this objectively.
Pretty privilege is a thing that exists.
Like they're using their pretty privilege to, because like any other person cuts that promo and they're like, well, we need to not have this bitch speak at all. Like, if I mean, I think Tegan Knox is pretty, but like if she cut that promo, they'd be like, yeah, we can never ever do anything with Tegan Knox, like like ever. She's not Liv Morgan, like quote unquote pretty, but like you know, yeah, it's more.
Well, they had to have her do that because they were going to put the belt on her, of course.
Oh yeah,
And she's going to come out and do even more weird promos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no.
Speaking of promos, do you think Rhea had improved in her promos in the time that she's been champion? Because that pop when she comes back is going to be fucking huge and enormous and a lot of fun. But I know that Rhea was a little shaky on the mic first.
I don't know. I never really thought about her promos. Like it's that weird thing where she's such a force. It's the Jade Cargill thing where you just put her out there and she doesn't really have to cut good promos.
True.
Like good promos are a plus for her.
Yeah, they are. True.
At the heart of the city is a great mosque called Al-Masjid Al-Haram, and at its center is the Kaaba. Muslims don't worship the Kaaba. They worship what it represents, the one God. Hajj takes place in and around Mecca. It is a series of rituals performed between the 8th and 13th days of the last month of the Islamic calendar.
All right, so let's move on to Sammy and Big Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. They had me with Sammy. That package made me tear up. It did.
He was very happy to be there.
Yeah, yeah. And he comes out and I wish I knew what it was called. That kind of long robe. I'm happy that he's able to go and like be and represent the Muslim population. That's great for him. I'm really happy for him. Yeah.
I was just telling Drew, like he seems like one of the nicest people in wrestling.
Oh yes, yeah. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, like because it's funny because like I was telling him, I said that's why I think a lot of women probably like him because he's not ugly at all, but he has a very realistic look.
Yeah,
like he would be a guy you would see on the street,
definitely,
just like hanging out. But then he's good at what he does, and he's nice.
Definitely, yes.
Being good at what you do and being nice a lot of times don't go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Sometimes people who are really good at their jobs, have a little like tooting their own horn a little too much.
It's that moment that I was just like, that's right, Mecca is in Saudi Arabia. So like I had forgotten. But just seeing him and how much he means to everybody there, and how much they go up for him. Like they had no other choice but to put him over. And then like when the Bronson Reed thing happened, like once they had that package, I'm like, Sammy's gonna go over.
Oh yeah, of course. Seeing Maxine real quickly in that all like silver bodysuit, it reminded me of something, and I can't place it. It kind of reminded me like of Green Man on It's Always Sunny, but in silver. Like
Silverman.
Maybe Galaxy Quest. Might be Galaxy
Quest. Oh, Galaxy Quest, yes.
Yeah.
That match was good. The spots where they had all three of them in the ring doing the moves are the best.
Yes.
I was just like, man, this is really fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
It was the best match of that night.
It was. Yeah.
Easy.
Not to say that any of the others were bad, but it was the most entertaining.
So if you guys like saw the article where it's funny because like once you have I'm paraphrasing, but he talks about how going there is very meaningful for him because it's like being around the language, the food, the smells, things like that. And it's like, unless you're someone who spent a lot of time in somewhere that's very different to where you grew up and with the things that you do associate with home, Like, you don't understand that. And it is true, because when I lived, and this is going to sound silly, but when I lived on the East Coast instead of the West Coast, I went through that. Where when I would come visit, I'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, the food is good that I want. The smells are here. The sights, the sounds, you know, it's like, so it's kind of nice to see someone like that, because it seems like he's really, you know, just been a good dude overall and a good at his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a nice
when you
article.
come to a part of the world that is such a central part of who you are, and I know it's not a central part of the Sami Zayn character, I realize that. I know a lot of people watching at home might not even know that I'm Arab or that I'm Muslim or that I'm Syrian or whatever it is, but it's such a central part of who I am as a person that when I come here, there's a part of me that feels complete in a way that I don't even know what's missing when I'm not here. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
The legacy of Taras finds its roots in the annals of the Greek and Roman empires, where both esteemed men and women donned these headpieces as symbols of their elevated standing. However, it was Napoleon who elevated them to true vogue. Fueled by the ambition to present his court as the paragon of magnificence in 19th century Europe, and to align himself with the majestic rulers of antiquity, he commissioned a series of extravagant headpieces for his beloved Josephine. This initiative sparked a trend that reverberated throughout the courts of their era, ultimately captivating the grand houses of Europe. In our modern times, the tradition persists, with an array of royal women adorning these exquisite diamond diadems during significant state occasions or as an enchanting complement to their weddings.
As soon as Naya came out, I'm like, there's the queen, everyone. That's going to be her. Like, come on. It's always her. And the thing that's interesting also about Naya is that, of course, she has to wear the full body gear that all women have to wear, but she's always wearing that.
Yeah.
Like,
so
she came out as she always is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A couple years ago, like before she got released, like her outfits had a little skirt on them. I'm like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And so now they're more.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a thing. And as a plus size woman myself, a plus size person who likes to wear clothing like that, I should say, because clothing has no gender. They do this thing with plus size women where you have
don't
to
you want to
like,
cover this up?
Yeah,
No?
don't you want to cover this up? And also it's like we need to show the maximum amount of cutouts and ruffles to make sure everybody knows that you are feminine. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm just big. That does not mean I am not feminine. But they do this thing with bigger women and bigger people who want to appear feminine. You have to have ruffles to signify your fucking daintiness. And I'm like, no, I don't. And fucking peplums. I hate peplums. But they are everywhere.
Yeah.
They are everywhere for people who are larger and like to wear dresses and feminine clothing. It's like, or, you know, that kind of clothing, whatever. But it's like, why? Like, that looks 90% of the time. I mean, if you love a peplum and you are a bigger person, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it is on everything and I cannot sleep it and do not like it for me is a problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, the little skirts too. It's like, it's to, you know, be like, this is a feminine person.
Yeah.
Because they're big. We have to make sure you know it. I'm like,
oh yeah.
First of all, she's beautiful. And
that curly hair too. I love the hair.
Oh, her hair looks great.
Yes,
I
loved
loved
the curly hair.
So it's like, yeah, it's one of those funny things. I'm glad that she just got to wear a nice, streamlined, glittery purple outfit.
Yes,
It was great.
Yeah. And she seems more confident in what she's wearing and doing out there now. It's great.
Like, it's just nice to see when somebody, like, she's a monster, and monsters usually don't win. Monster heels usually don't win.
Yeah.
So just to see a monster heel win, you're just like, okay,
yeah,
fine. That's what normally in real life would happen. But wrestling's all about the story of how's this person going to get around this monster heel. And like a monster heel could just beat up people, and then all of a sudden, you know,
get taken down by the face in some way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this, it showed how horny the internet was because of the finish where like
yes. Like that's her move.
That is her move.
Was incredible. That was great. But no, the internet is incredibly horny, and to see a woman of her stature and her exactly. Oh yeah, there are so many people on the internet, especially when it's a woman who is not only like is she bigger, but she is muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is a strong, tall woman, and a
Yes.
lot of people
She's
on
like
the
6 feet
internet,
tall. Yeah.
yes, they're just like, I am horny now.
Step on me.
Step on me, yes. Step on me, and they probably at times will add the word mommy at the end.
Yes.
Because a lot of them love a big, mean, muscular mommy dom. They
Yeah.
love that shit. You know, when she accepted her rightful crown, she was like, get the fuck out of my way.
Right.
I don't need
The
it.
tens are talking.
Yes, exactly. What did I text you? I was like,
Yes.
move 5, a 10 is talking.
Yes.
She
Good.
bent the knee to get the crown,
Yeah.
and she actually put it on. The difference between her and the future, when we'll talk about Gunther, is just she was the one who actually put it on. Gunther just has it in his hand, like I am the king. Yeah,
It looks cool on Nia. On Gunther, that would have looked dumb.
like if Hitler wore a crown, it would look kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
That too, yes. Yeah, that's exactly.
The entrance for Lyra Valkyria, and I was really good with the wings, and
Yes.
like that's right, Bird Girl. And this is the first time
that angle was fun. I liked it.
this is the first time I've actually looked at Lyra, and I'm like, oh, you're attractive. Okay.
She's adorable.
Sometimes it doesn't click with me where like you see this person wrestle and you're like, oh, I respect their wrestling skill. And then like you look at like it's like seeing a person that you hang out with like every day, and then all of a sudden turn around and like, oh my god, you're fucking pretty. When did this happen?
Michelle Trachtenberg in Eurotrip.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Worst twins ever.
Like, you're a girl.
Right? Like he could never see it before.
The Habsburgs ruled as Holy Roman Emperors. While historians joke their domain was neither holy nor Roman, they did have some fancy jewels. The collection's highlight is the 10th century crown of the Holy Roman Emperor. The symbolism indicates that the emperor was both holy and Roman. The jeweled arch represents the parade helmet of ancient Roman emperors, whose successors the Habsburgs claimed to be. The cross says the emperor ruled as Christ's representative on earth.
We were also right about Gunther and Randy. Now, I definitely thought it should have been Gunther, and it was, because of him coming off of dropping to Sammy, and they've got to build that bridge to putting a championship belt on him at some point.
Yeah.
So this is a perfectly good bridge to that. And yet I wouldn't have been mad to see Randy get it. I don't think it should have been Randy because he's already done so much.
He's done too much.
Exactly.
Right.
But I also wouldn't have been mad at it at all. And what a great match.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Like, you knew it was going to be great because the two of them are always great anytime they do anything. But it was so crazy to see him going for the RKO and like missing it or like not getting it. Like Gunther was like, he was there to party. He was there to get his due. Like, that was great. Such a good balance.
Yeah. Like I said, Randy Orton works in first gear, and it works all the time.
Yep.
And like when he's in like second gear, is very seldom. So when like most of the times he's in first gear and he doesn't have to do much. The biggest thing about that match was that they really fell in love with Leon France, because him coming out to 6 minutes, like that song going on for 6 fucking minutes. I'm just like,
who else can we get to sing it? Come on.
I was just like, you can just like, like you don't have to do that. Like, what are we doing?
Like, you don't have to do that every time. They're gonna try though.
But yeah, the 6 minutes was really.
You timed it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It was 6 minutes.
That's way too long.
It was too much. And then they fucked the finish. And this is one of the few times where they fucked the finish, and then Triple H actually said something. Because most of the times they'll just pretend it didn't happen. Like the greatest example is the 3-way for the first woman's main event for WrestleMania 35 is one of the few times where they were like, "Can we get a replay?" And then there's nothing for a couple seconds, and then you could pretty much tell Vince is just like, "We're not watching the fucking replay because they fucked up the finish."
Exactly. Let's see. What really made me laugh at the end of Gunther, though, is people saying, "You deserve it, you deserve it," and he was like, "With all due respect, y'all know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need that."
He's so good. Where it's just like, yes, I'm a gigantic asshole. I will.
Right?
I'm going to tell you.
Like, thanks, but no thanks. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here because it's mine, not because I deserve it.
I'm better than everybody. That's why I'm here. I don't need you to tell me that. I know this.
That is funny. I'm confident that Queen Nia will go by Queen Nia for a while, but will King Gunther go by King Gunther for a while? Do you think he'll carry around that thing? You think he'll make
the Ring Emperor?
The Ring.
He'll be the Ring Emperor.
The Ring Emperor.
Yeah.
King Gunther sounds like the villain from a children's story.
It does.
Sounds like something in Shrek.
And yes, I was going to say that's exactly. Do you think he'll make Tippy's man carry around the crown on a pillow?
I don't think it'll be that much. It's just like, guys, I'm the best wrestler. I'm the king. I own the ring. Like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be curious to see what they do with the gimmick. He was like, man, fuck this.
Like you're gonna start seeing Ring Emperor shit, and like it'll work. It'll work because it's Gunther. Like,
Coming in at number 9, we have the King Fahd Fountain. As the tallest fountain in the world, it offers a mesmerizing display of water shooting up to 1,024 feet in the air. Its grandeur and captivating beauty create a truly unforgettable sight, showcasing the city's commitment to architectural marvels and providing a unique and awe-inspiring experience for visitors.
All right, but let's go ahead and cover Cody and Logan.
Man, the thing I remember seeing from the match, because like I went out and then I came back and I saw it's like pieces. But when Cody's coming out and then that man is so gently just like Cody Rhodes' balls were directly in this guy's face and he's just hugging him like, no, stop it.
He got some new giant, Captain America duster every time. I'm not mad at it at all. They all look fresh as fuck. I'm not mad. And then he goes in again, like daps up shakes the hand of the ring announcers. I'm like, oh God, why do you have to do that, bruh?
Because he is the ultimate face. Like,
the
AEW were fucked up like twice. It's just a span of a couple years because it was just you shat on Cody. Your fans shat on Cody for being a genuine heel, and that's one of the reasons why I thoroughly believe that AEW's in the situation they are in, because they don't really make new stars, and they have a really weird thing about,
not on purpose anyway, the stars that are made, it's because they worked for it on their own.
Yes. And they have a really weird thing, like wrestling is kid first, and that's one of the things that AEW doesn't realize. So when they actually had a guy that was kid first, they fucking booed him out of the building because they're fucking internet trolls and smarts.
Sparks or Marks?
Marks. Sorry. Smarks. I said smarts.
Lousy smarts weather.
Yeah. No, that's what they call it.
Smarmy Mark. I like that.
No, smart marks. That's what they're calling it. Smarts.
Really?
Yeah.
Marks. Okay.
Whatever.
They got
not to say
smart attitude.
Gotcha.
Not to say that like they're all bad people that like AEW, but
I don't know.
There's just things where I'm like, you had the biggest face in professional wrestling and you fucked him, like you fucked him up. So like all the people who are AEW only, I'm like, this is on you. Like he's like the CM Punk thing was on him.
Don't cry me a river.
But like this is on you, and that's why right now they're in this really weird spot where they're gonna try to find the next thing, but the next thing is something someone else already built, and you're just coming over.
Yeah,
like you need a homegrown person. But with Cody in the match, like Logan Paul is so good at wrestling, and I don't think he can do it like every week, like they were trying to make Ronda do it, where like, all right, Ronda, you're gonna be on the road,
Yeah,
and you're gonna learn. Like that was not conducive to her talents.
true.
I feel like you would have gotten better pay-per-view matches had they
I think so too. Yeah.
had they done what they did with Logan, where it's just like, all right, we're gonna call every spot. This is what's gonna happen. This is gonna happen next. And honestly, like with a professional
And he
wrestler,
hits
like
them better. Yeah.
with a professional wrestler like that, like at a certain point, you would be like, oh, this is great. Like I know what's coming every step of the way. Like there's no surprises. You know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're not. You know the person's limited. Like it's the perfect situation.
Yeah.
So that's
and
why
yet, even though you know what's happening, it's not boring.
Yes.
Because if he can still, perform it, he can do the physical part of it easily, but he can also perform it, in a way that Ronda couldn't.
Yes.
He's more of a performer.
Yes, he understands the performer.
Yes.
Logan Paul
aspect.
is hilariously good at professional wrestling. Like, I think I texted you while I was watching it. I was like, it's like he was made in a lab for this.
Yes.
They were like,
with a ready-made product to shill.
His fucking pants say Prime on them, right? Or
He stopped to drink from a Prime bottle.
He stopped to drink the Prime. Yes, I was like, oh my god.
And this is the first time that they've used a drone like that.
Yes, I have the shot. Let me show you guys.
The 360 drone.
Yeah, that
and
was crazy.
And then on his Twitter, he basically said he pitched that a year ago.
Yep, he's been working on that for a year. And he like, it's weird, but like if I were to, need a character,
it works.
If I were to need a character in a movie to be a wrestler, that's what he would look like. That man knows exactly what he's doing. He's a fucking showman.
Like Kevin Dunn was just stealing money. Like
right.
Like it is insane how
getting away with murder.
His trajectory, like whoever in the next 10, 15 years gets to tell his story is going to be it's going to be an insane movie.
It is.
Because he's the way he started and the way he is now, it's like he's just that person. This is literally what he's here for, is to do this. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Because Cody is signed to Prime.
Oh, smart.
Really?
Smart man.
Yeah, him and I think Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs are both signed to Prime.
Okay. Yeah, Prime is, again, I've told you guys that stuff is so popular with kids. They are obsessed with that shit.
Yeah.
Last month I wanted Dude Wipes. Now I want some fucking Prime.
Right. We got what we knew we get, a good solid match, and some stuff we didn't know we get, like that fucking drone shot. But of course, Cody retains. A nice triple crossroads to finish it out. Good stuff all around. What would you give the full event? I think I'd give it like a B. It was it was good. It was fine. There were no matches that I thought were like, oh, this could have been on Raw. I didn't quite think that of any of them, except for Bianca Jade and the other two, Indy and Candice, which I didn't even remember that was going to be on. That could have been on SmackDown. Good solid event. Good blood money in the bank.
Is it right? Exactly. Like, man, I'm so glad that I filled up my gas tank and then somehow supported the WWE going to Saudi Arabia with the money that I spent by driving around. I'm so glad I did that.
Makes the world go round.
Hi, welcome to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. There's magic, music, dancing, comedy, and gaming. On any given evening, there's some form of entertainment for everyone.
So I think by now, it's a safe bet that whenever a title match opens a pay-per-view, that champ is dropping. But you didn't expect it? I definitely thought it was a foregone conclusion that they would put a belt on him sooner than later.
I thought they were just going to wait until London, but I was definitely shocked when it happened. He took a terrible bump. Just the
Yeah.
the doomsday device, and then the way he landed, like, oh fuck,
Like partially on his on his head, neck area. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that was worrying.
That was a terrible bump. I actually really do like how that match started, because they come out and then he tries to hit him with the hidden blade, and I'm like, that's actually really looks cool. Like the way he just flew in there and like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
The thing about Ospreay is like he's a very complete wrestler. He can do all the stuff. Like he can brawl, he can submit, he can do all the flippy shit. But he will also find a way every match to do something I've never seen before. And it usually has to do with like coming out of a flip and then just countering in a way that I didn't see coming. Because a lot of wrestlers, they'll have their moveset and, you know, they're all really good at doing it. But he seems to mix it up in ways that I don't see a lot.
Yeah, like he's good face, heel. Like he's
yes, true. Like I want to see them do that again. Like it's a shame that this had to be like a title match, and we probably won't see them, you know, lock up again for a while, at least not in this way. But that was really good. They had really good chemistry together. Fantastic stuff. You want to talk what happens next?
Oh, definitely.
I love Adam Cole's entrance. I always have. It is my jam. It is my thing. I realize it's a little like drawn out, you know, coming out and all this and this and this and that. I know it, but I love it. It's so much fun. Only Jay is the only one that matters right now, and I can't pick which one I like more. I love Adam Cole every time. But they pulled the bait and switch on me. You know what? When they said, "Oh, MJF might be back by Forbidden Door," I was like, "All right, that's fine. Forbidden Door, okay." I didn't hope for more. They got me. They big time got me. What did you think of that whole in his house thing? House, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, like Tony Khan pays his wrestlers. Like,
yes,
like,
that's true.
If there's one thing, you know, they're not fighting for meals. Like he pays those fucking guys. It was a cool, like, as soon as it cut to black, I'm like, oh, okay. And so he comes out, and immediately when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's Triple H, because Triple H came back with the fucking denim.
Yes.
The leather and the denim.
Yeah.
When he tore his quad.
Yeah.
Then he was out for the entire invasion, and then comes back with needles just stuck straight up his ass, and was just like, hey guys, I'm going to the Royal Rumble. Look at how magically huge I am. And then 20 years later, you know, he has a heart defect and was hospitalized for a couple days. And people are like, man, that's so sad. And I'm like, you didn't see him 20 years ago? Of course this happened.
Yes. Most wrestlers drop dead of heart attacks anyway. It's to be expected. But that boy is orange. You can literally see the spray tan on his ears.
Yeah, like it's very distracting.
It is distracting.
Where you're just
hair
like,
looked weird too. He looked strong and great and big and all that, but weird. Kind of like an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he does.
Very much an Oompa Loompa. Yeah.
Like it's very much late 80s, early 90s. Hey, spray tan.
Yes.
Spray tan and steroid. Well, like I think MJF does something, but not steroids. Like,
sure.
Like, I mean, he's most likely not going to pass a piss test, but it's not because of steroids. It'll probably human growth or some shit like that. But he even got the tattoo which I'm like, that is a commitment. You got to.
Isn't it just?
Yeah, you
What
got.
was he quoting there exactly? Because I couldn't find a reference. Like, bet on yourself.
The Iron Sheik. It says, Gene Mean, look at our body, cameraman, zoom.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Clever.
Yeah, it's cool that he came back.
I'm so happy. I missed him. Oh, great. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You guys were
There's
right
no
about him being
symbol.
orange as hell, though. I saw that picture. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That guy is tan as fuck.
Yeah.
like
he didn't finish doing his ears properly.
Yeah.
Every time he gets a mic in his hands, he exceeds what he did the last time. His Beyonce of wrestling. I love him. Moving on, Bang Bang Gang retains. They're growing on me as a group and as a corny name. This match is quicker than I would have liked, and it definitely feels like it could have been on Dynamite. But the whole purpose of it was, for the juice. The juice is loose again.
To bring back Tony Storm's husband.
Yes, exactly. Like, I think that was the whole function of it. Another one that didn't really need to be there. I personally think they should do it at Wembley.
My favorite part of the Death Triangle match was when they do their entrance, they all do the entrance like bam, bam, bam. And then you can see when Phoenix runs out, he slips because Pentagon Jr. spits out the water. Phoenix just slips on it and then recovers and does the pose. And I'm like, that's actually hilarious.
And yet, Bang Bang Gang is growing on me. They are.
Yeah, it's funny because they had just they're not a part of Bullet Club Gold anymore. They're not calling them that. They just call them Bang Bang Gang now.
Yeah,
and then I was watching it and Crystal saw it. She was just like, Bang Bang Gang. And I'm just like, yeah, that does sound stupid as fuck. Like
it is. Like the name is stupid. As a group, they're growing on me. I'm never gonna like the name.
No.
To me, it sounds a little bit like a porn
version
of the Apple Dumpling Gang. Bang Bang Gang. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I thought of. I was like, this is
it's
a funny
definitely
name.
that. But happy to see the Juice back. He's crazy.
Juice is loose. Like a lot of Tony, everyone's saying a lot of Tony Storm and how random and crazy she is comes from him.
Yes, true.
So like a lot of the shit
been
she's
leaning
doing,
into it.
A lot of the shit she's doing, he's giving her advice and like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Yeah.
You can see the impact there.
Oh yeah.
From the resort company that brought you the mystery of Luxor and the enchantment of Excalibur comes the magic of Monte Carlo, the excitement of Las Vegas, the magic of Lance Burton, and the romance of Monte Carlo. This summer, make your own magic at the Monte Carlo Resort and Casino. Reserve your getaway today. The new Monte Carlo Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
Speaking of Tony, she retains. They even have her champ graphics in black and white. They're going everywhere with it. This actually might be my favorite of Tony's defenses so far, because they're both just so strong as individuals and like together. They both had multiple instances, I feel, where they kicked out of each other's finishes. I don't think that Tony got the chance to get the hip attack on her at any point because she actually kept escaping from it.
Yeah.
That pile driver off the top was amazing. Whole thing was great.
This actually had a lot of storyline work because
it did.
We were doing a break in kayfabe about a movie that had something to do with this, and it was very like she's about to throw in the towel.
Yes,
and then she's
fighting with Luther. Yeah,
she framed Luther for it, and she got Luther. Yeah, it's very similar to what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So,
and they mentioned Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, no, that's the name of her finisher now.
Yes, wow.
It's called Sunset Boulevard.
So good.
And then they mentioned that we looked it up earlier. She's from Studio 7, and that's where they shot Casablanca.
Oh man!
So
Studio 7 of the
they're
Warner
doing
Brothers
everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
One thing that's just weird to me is I had forgotten that Marty Skrull is married to Serena Deeb. And if
Oh my
you, if you look up Marty Scurll, you're not gonna like what you see. And so the other day, when Serena Deeb had that promo and she ends it, it's like "Time's up, Tony Storm," and I'm like, because everyone knows about the time's up movement. Like, you probably shouldn't phrase that the way you did, and it just came off tone deaf. But
Yes.
yeah, because I was a huge Marty Scurll fan, and then the allegations came out, and I'm like, ooh, like so much so
I
that
wonder why they're not mentioned on each other's Wikipedia pages. That's interesting.
I was there when Marty won Bola 2016, and that was the reason why I became a fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
What did he do?
Underage
Allegedly.
girls.
Oh, great!
Text the underage girls. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it's fucked up, but hold on, let me, because okay, let's see. Scurll is accused of taking advantage of a 16-year-old girl back in 2016. Okay. And then he didn't deny the allegation and said the encounter was consensual. Yeah. No, there's a shirt that I have that I fucking loved. Like, it is one of those great like baseball shirts. It fits me so well. And then when that happened, I'm like, fuck, that is an awful thing. But also, I can't wear this shirt again.
Well. Apparently, a day ago, someone asked on Squared Circle on Reddit if Serena and Marty were married, and was moved by the moderators. And comments are saying that there was a document showing that they were married and had a mortgage together. So someone was doing some digging that they ought not have been doing.
What's the next match?
Orange and Trent, which could have been on a Wednesday night, or even a Friday night, or even a Saturday night.
Yeah, and because they're trying
Kind of
to
a roll-up finish. It's not over by a long shot between the two of them.
No, and they're trying to do the Don Callis thing where Don Callis is just like, hey, somebody's going to be a part of the Don Callis family. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
I care about what those wrestlers are doing individually, but as for you, looking like a Superman villain, I don't care.
It's just
I don't care about you at all.
No, not at all. It's just
Orange brought back his Pixies entrance music, though. I'm always partial to the Pixies music. I missed it.
Yeah, this was dark Orange Cassidy because he's wearing darker denim.
Yes, and darker glasses, different glasses.
He's wearing Ray-Bans instead of aviators, and he has a black shirt instead of a white shirt.
Yeah,
and it's still Canadian tuxedo, but like it's just it's just like, oh shit, okay, now he means business right now.
Only a guy named Orange Cassidy could dress like that.
It's true.
If you're a smart player, you'll come to the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino.
Tell them they're crazy to play anywhere else on the strip.
Thanks, son. Just keep cranking. Stratosphere has over $150 slot machines paying out over 98%, which means you can win more jackpots. Play with the player's card, and you can get free show tickets, Stratosphere Tower passes, prime rib buffets, and more. So be smart. Come to the Stratosphere. You can't have all this fun sitting at home.
Not unless you live in a casino.
Not unless you live in a casino.
Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower shops on the Strip. Smart players know better.
FTW. This whole thing is getting over.
Mm-hmm.
This man is the Madonna of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Ray events and stuff every time, and people buy it. You know what was really funny was watching Jericho like this, waiting on the table for Shibata and Hook to get off the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Because neither of them are really used to being up there, and he's like, and it was like a second longer than I'm used to watching someone wait. That was pretty goddamn funny. Give Hook all of his flowers. He suplexed Big Bill off of their apron onto a table without like a whole lot of effort, it looked like. I love the kid.
No, like he is his father's son.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Like his father was like 90s cool, but Hook is like 2022 cool. Like
yes.
Hook is one of those white guys that's going to be good looking, and then
forever.
like I think when 30 hits, he's
You
just
think
gonna
so?
it's all gonna come crashing down. Like it's just like oh God, okay.
I don't think so. He'll probably always be nice looking, especially with that hair.
I
When
don't
he's got the
know.
hair.
He's got that face, and I mean, unfortunately, some dudes have that face where you're just like, I'm looking at you now, and I know in 30 years, someone's gonna look at a picture of you now and be like, "That's the same guy."
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We'll see.
Time comes for us all.
What fucking entrance music is Jericho coming out to?
I think it's one of those Fozzy songs.
Random Fozzy song that he wants to get off. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like it plays and then he waves
Okay.
to the crowd.
Okay.
Because like the intro was great because it's just like
His second three-way match. This is very interesting.
he comes out and smiles to the crowd like, "Hi guys, hi."
Yeah. God. Brian Keith is joining the Learning Tree.
It's weird because I took it as Brian Keith took a bounty,
Yes. Yeah.
but I didn't think he was joining the Learning Tree. Like that's the thing.
It's unclear.
Yeah.
But the whole Learning Tree thing, and it's I guess we'll see this week what the intention is. It could go either way. The bounty thing is pretty clear.
Yeah, he took a bounty, got paid, and then you know.
And then that's it.
Yeah. One and done.
Would that be effective for him? Because if it's one and done, what does it do for him?
He got a bounty. He's like the APA.
Oh, it could be something that he does consistently. The APA. Yeah. Yo, that would be a good like gimmick for him. If it's something he does consistently, that would be funny. That'd be good. Mm.
Shout out to the APA. They're a hilarious tag team.
Mm-hmm.
There's just two guys who just stiff the shit out of everybody, and then they have the greatest wrestling shirt of all time.
Yes.
Where it's just like, hey, what is another thing the APA stands for? And then it just has the Acolytes Protection Agency, and then on the back it says, always pounding ass.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Why didn't anyone stop that?
Because they were too busy pounding ass. That's what was going on. Pause.
But you didn't want to talk Moxley, Kesta. I thought it was a good match.
It was a good match. That could have happened on Wednesday.
That's true. That's true. That should have happened on Wednesday because it was an eliminator match. Eliminator matches. I don't know what the fucking point is. What if you beat the champion once? That should be the title. You should have the title if you beat him. It's not beat me once and then you beat me again. When has it ever happened?
When Vince was in charge.
Well, fuck.
Like the champion would lose a match, and then 4 weeks later, it would they would main event a pay-per-view and just pretend like nothing happened. Yeah, this match was just okay. Like it wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was okay.
The use of isolating the shoulder and the whole bandage thing was effective, I thought.
Yeah, like it was a 4-hour show. Like
yes,
you could have cut 3 of those matches.
Yes, easy.
The 3 we've talked about, like, you could have cut them out completely.
Yep.
And
no one would have noticed.
No one would have noticed. Moxley comes out looking like a mummy, and then somehow he pulls it out again, and I was just like, all right, don't care. Like it's like LOL, Moxley wins again.
LOL, Moxley wins again.
Your wish is my command.
Abracadabra. Music, dance, comedy, and the magic of Kirby Van Birch. An explosive extravaganza. Only at the Aladdin. Abracadabra.
All right, moving on to Adam Copeland and Malachi Black, when I saw the Brood opening, I thought to myself, God, I hope that this is just to show that Cope can be spoopy too. And then Gangrel showed up. You know, it was really not on my bingo card at all for the 3 members of the Brood to appear in a pay-per-view in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would not have guessed that at all.
Also not on my bingo card is a 50-year-old man diving 20 feet off of a cage and landing on his feet for a top rope nothing.
Come on.
Like, it is hilarious
Did he pull out
when
the teeth in the shirt from, like, you know, his attic or something.
like when the Brood thing happened, because the Brood has one of the greatest theme songs in the history
It's
of
true. It's
professional
true.
wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
It's
why
true.
I will always remember the Brood. That match was good, and they're sowing the seeds of maybe House of Black is breaking up. One of the reasons why you don't see Malachi Black all that much, you see the other two, is because it's solely because, you know, Malachi Black does not want a job.
Not there.
And no, he doesn't want a job there. So that's why you see him sparingly. He's been trying to get out of his contract for years now. Like, it's a thing where I'm like, man, if you just would have done the indies for like 2 years and you could have waited, like, so many people could have just waited out Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like Gunter / Walter. Perfect.
And yet it was hard to time it, though. I mean, no one could have known that it happened when it happened, you know?
Like, yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Is a lady. Been looking for luck in all the wrong places? You'll find Lady Luck at the Lady Luck Casino and Hotel. The Lady Luck has what you've been looking for, our traditional friendly atmosphere and an exciting new restaurant with home-style cooking. Luck is a lady, Lady Luck Casino and Hotel.
All right, moving on to triple main event, whatever. Mercedes Willow, you waited so long. I rolled my eyes a bit at that fucking famous feminist history video.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like,
but like so many great women, and I'm like, you're comparing yourself to fucking Ruth
Bader Ginsburg, Rosa
and
Parks,
Rosa Parks,
Amelia Earhart, history makers. I'm like, no.
Like, I hope she's playing it as heel shit, because I'm like, for you to do that, like, god damn.
That was one thing I could have, done with that, because the video package right before showing, her and Willow's history of the last year, that was great. That was quite enough. If you'd done that, gone right into the entrance with the drummers and the dancers, because I thought that was cool. I didn't need that whole fucking famous feminist history bit at all. Whose idea was that? No. Put it away. Did not care for it. But both entrances are good. I loved Willow with the bundles. She's a star, and the makeup and everything. They both looked fantastic. It was something that I was remembering what I've watched a lot of women wrestlers be over the years. And it reminded me a lot of like late 80s wrestling. More glow, more rock and robin, like a lot of the fancy makeup, which sometimes we don't always see. It depends on who we're looking at, but it gave me that kind of vibe. I loved it. It was great. It started a little slow for Mercedes, though.
Well, yeah, she hadn't wrestled in a year. So,
yeah, exactly.
So like there's obvious
rhythm,
ring rust, but like towards the end, that's when it started to come together.
Yeah.
Like the arm drags are so complicated that at times they look like botches.
Yes.
But they're not.
Yeah.
When she came out, her gear was so hilariously Joshi, where it's just like everything is sparkling. There's dollar signs.
When it was time for her to stop being overpowered, she started isolating Willow's leg and knee. Great. That drop knee that Willow pulled on the apron. Another thing I don't think I've seen before.
No.
Yeah.
No, like Willow was the powerhouse, and that's one thing that is missing in professional wrestling is female just powerhouses where they're just like,
yes,
all right, like I'm gonna press slam you. Like Nia Jax is just, you know, is not so much a powerhouse. She's just like a monster.
yes.
And like that's
She's not
something.
always the pick up and throw around kind of person.
No.
I think this was one of her best wrestled matches. I think it's my favorite one of hers that is not a street fight.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
She was great. And then, you know, Stokely was on the apron and he fucked up the 3 count.
Yeah.
On accident.
And
you know,
like,
and then they did the NXT Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, where he's walking her back, and then on the halfway end, she's just like, "Fuck you."
Yes.
And then like this is the moment because like yesterday we had the conversation about Lyra Valkyria and like it's realizing somebody's attractive when you never found them attractive, and then Chris Statlander comes in yesterday, and I'm like, oh my god, Chris Statlander is really fucking pretty. What the fuck?
She turns heel and you see it.
And it's always like a weird thing where you're like, when the fuck did that happen? Shout out to Mercedes. They had a party for her after, and she won the TBS belt. And Swerve was there supporting her, and then Bailey was there. And,
yay!
And then there's the video of
the role models.
Will Ospreay doing the
dance. Yeah.
And then it's that thing where you're like, fuck, Will Ospreay is doing it significantly better than her.
Yes.
It's that thing where I'm like, I know Mercedes is one of the greatest black wrestlers of all time, but
yes,
no rhythm.
One of those special ones with no rhythm.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
I'm Steve Wynn, and this is my new hotel. The only one I've ever signed my name to. Can I get down now?
Moving on to number 2 of the triple main event, Swerve Cage. You know what? I thought it was overall a fun enough match to have main evented. For sure.
The only problem was the audience was so wrapped up in Willow and
yeah,
Mercedes that it took them a while.
It
took them a while to get into the match.
Yes.
You know, I love Swerve's entrance. I mean,
was that Warriors inspired?
I mean, obviously, I love the fucking entrance. So
yes, it was inspired by the Warriors, right? With the bottles.
Yeah, yeah, like he and the vest, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then whenever I see Mama Wayne, I always think like, you look like a porn star that does interracial porn, like interracial MILF porn. Oh, like my god! Like when I see her, I'm just like, she looks like a fucking porn star who Black Twitter is just like, yo, she's one of the goats.
Throat goat. She got it as. Oh my god. It was definitely a well wrestled match from the both of them, of course. But my favorite was the interferences because it was so back and forth. Like Mama Wayne gets Nana kicked out when he's just trying to stop her from interfering, and then the patriarchy all gets themselves kicked out. And then Nick Wayne reappears to pull a neck breaker on Swerve, which fails to get Christian the pin. So Nana comes after him with a pipe. It was this back and forth was a lot of fun. I'll admit it.
I wonder if that's the same pipe that they use for Anarchy in the Reese.
No.
It was just like it is just.
It is.
All right, we have one prop pipe, so we can use. We're only going to use this.
Yes, I think so. I would believe it. I really hope it is now. I hope someone took it home and got it like autographed by someone.
But it's a solid first defense. I just feel like the build was so bad for Swerve. because he just constantly got beat down to the point
Mhm.
where, like, honestly, I would have kept all three of them out in the match. Like, I
Mhm.
would have kept, them have Nana get kicked out, and
Mhm.
then just Swerve be fighting those three
Mhm.
as he was fighting Christian, and that would have made him look so much stronger.
They did do that. Do you think them getting kicked out and ultimately finishing the match makes him look less strong?
He looks fine. It's just like,
Mhm.
I would have, if that was me and I just saw the last 3 weeks of his TV,
Mhm.
I just would have been like, all right,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do is,
Enough of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get Nana kicked out, and then you're gonna be fighting from behind.
Mhm.
You're just gonna be fighting from behind the
Yeah.
entire match, and then there's gonna be a point where you say enough of this, you take out both guys, and
Mhm.
then, I don't know how you would dispose of Mama Wayne.
I guess in the way
And
that she did ultimately get
Yeah.
kicked out because the ref was like, "Hey, you're being annoying. It's time for you to go." That was enough.
Hmm.
It was enough
Yeah.
to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have to take a bump onto a table necessarily, but that could have main evented. Do you think it should have main evented?
No. Like,
Well, I guess
knowing
after
what
what
we
comes
know,
next, yes.
yeah, knowing
correct.
what we know, like, there was no way
There-
anything else could have main evented.
That's true.
Always exciting, always something new. Always an adventure, always something to do. Always entertaining, always something to see. Always on the money, Las Vegas, always on the money.
Because they pulled out each and every one of the stops. They thought of everything. Justin Roberts gets up there, dapper yapper. And it's so funny. Every time he's, announcing, I'm looking at his hand and his wrist, and it's just dripped in gold. I'm like, you wear jewelry like it's 1986. I love it. He says, "Welcome to the shit show." And I fell over laughing. Oh, God. Congrats to the Bucks on finding all the tackiest clothes possible. It reminds me of Susie on Curb. Like, where did you get those clothes? Did they make them specifically for you to be that ugly? Wow.
I do love the fact that, like, we talked about this, the Nike or the Reebok pump comes back every 10 years. Like, everybody's just like, whatever happened to that shoe? I'm like,
yes, it's time to bring him back.
Yeah. And then everybody just like, oh, those are ugly ass shoes. And then they forget about it. And then it comes back 10 years later.
Yeah.
Like, I have
When it's
I have
time
a
for
couple pumps.
nostalgia.
Yeah, I got a couple pumps with my shoes. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Are they more comfortable?
They're
Do
fine.
you notice the tongue being pumped? Or?
The one with the 90s was the only one that really, really did it. But like, it's more nostalgia with the newer ones.
Yeah.
They
didn't even bother doing everyone's entrances.
That was because the show was so long. Like,
it was, yeah. They had to get going.
Brilliant. That was brilliant because when Darby came out, it switched to his song.
Yes.
And then Bucks did like, hey, they got on the mic and like changed the song, and they're still whooping each other's asses. And then Brian Danielson was just like, changed to the greatest theme song of all time because his Ring of Honor theme song was the final countdown. And then that's when Darby Allin jumps.
Yes. Barely 5 minutes in, and they're already in the stands and in the hallways, even with the final countdown in the background. Mayhem, crazy.
And
then
then
it cost me $200 every time it plays. 200 crazy. It was so funny.
So funny.
This cost me $200,000 every time it plays. Stop
We're on
it.
a budget.
That was funny. That was a good opening. Good stuff.
If you would have told Kazuchika Okada a decade ago, you would be main eventing in Las Vegas, and it would be a comedy match, he would have been like, "What?
What?
I am the ace of New Japan.
I'm a serious wrestler.
I'm a serious wrestler." And it's just like I think with his career, he's already done everything you could.
Sure.
So
I guess
him,
except go to the E.
yeah. So him just doing this was just like, all right, like,
Right.
like I've already climbed all the mountains I've climbed. Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, let me have this insane 30-minute match across the arena
Yeah.
and do like comedy spots.
Yeah. Was
Then
Jack trying to hit Darby with that truck?
yeah,
Oh God.
get it? Because
Boy.
you know, Darby Allin is
Got
just
hit by a bus.
yeah. It's like,
I like
hey,
the mask and he painted it all. That was cute. I like that.
and it's just God again. It's just like, I can't get this through your head. Like, I'm trying to help.
I don't want to bring you up here yet. You're supposed to stay. Why are
Yeah.
you trying to leave?
Every time. I know you want to go to Everest, and that's a horrendous idea. Why must you do this?
I guess the second I saw Jack appear again and looked soaked, that I should have figured they were actually going to do something with fire. But I didn't really believe it. It's fire. They really set him on fire.
Once that happened, that was the moment where I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. None of those previous 3 main events could have, because like once you set a person on fire,
there's nothing you can't come back from that.
It's the Seinfeld thing where if you make the best joke, just leave.
Yes, true. They were still doing more though, because after the flamethrower was the exploding chair, which I thought was a regular chair until sparks came off of it. And then the branded shoes, which was cute. You know, look at our branded shoes. Yeah. The branded shoes with the fucking tax on them. You know, super kick on upside down Darby.
They hung him.
They hung him upside down, super kicked him with branded shoes that had fucking tax on them. All that after the fire. Like, shit, wow. Goddamn. Like, what did they miss? What did they not do? I think they got it all. I think they got all the chairs, all the tables. They got the stands. They got all the jokes. They got the fire. They did everything. That was definitely anarchy. Fucking anarchy for sure.
So one thing that I'm starting to really just get over now is Brian Danielson needs to win some matches. I'm really fucking getting tired of him. Like, I understand he's one of the few top guys to ever want to help other people, but he helps people too much. And I know he gets his shit in, and that's what makes him great, but you don't have to eat every pin.
Yes.
Like FTR was there. Was right there.
Right there. Give Jack the pin. Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I know the function of, not the function of, but like Brian Danielson being there to put other people over. I get that completely. I'm usually not angry for him, losing in like big moments. Like, of course, he was never going to win across with Ospreay. Of course, I get it. You're right. This is an instance where he can be on the losing team and not have to lose flat in that way. It's true. Overall, what do you give the show?
I give it
A-.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I give it a B+. The only reason why I won't give it an A is the length.
True. Yes, exactly. The minus for me is the 3 extra matches that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, if you get rid of those 3 extra matches, that's at least it's 45 to 50 minutes shorter.
Yes,
and that's acceptable time. But like getting all of that shit in there, and like it really highlights the fact that AEW doesn't really have that much homegrown talent.
They don't. Not purposely homegrown.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to grow you into a star on purpose. Like, the ones that are stars there because they made themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, the Acclaim is real. Like, anytime, because there's a difference between the Acclaimed and Top Flight. Top Flight is like, you just won't give them the shot.
Exactly. They so deserve. god, they're so fun. They're so good
Yeah.
every time. Like, why at this point?
Yeah,
Just-
like you just there's just certain people like Ricky Starks. You just won't give it a shot. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's a
Ricky Stark should have another single title by now.
yeah. Well, like I mean, I think you know
Who
Ricky,
even has the tag belts right now?
I think Ricky's gonna make his way to Tampa.
I think so too.
The tag belts, Young Bucks.
Oh, that's right. See?
Yeah, they came out first with the tag
Yeah.
belt.
God. And they're not gonna drop those. They're not gonna use it to build up the division at all. They're just gonna use it to be assholes, which is fine. That's what you're gonna do. But you could be being assholes and building the division.
Yeah.
But you're not. It's weird. It's so weird. Some stuff they do so well, and some stuff they do not at all, and some stuff they do so poorly. It's really it's a mixed bag over there. What a mixed bag. But I think I would give the whole show an ace off the strength of MJF alone. Like, put an MJF, give me MJF and Mercedes. I'm happy.
Give me MJF and a terrible jean jacket
And orange ears.
and orange ears, and Mercedes comparing himself to all-time great women because she professional wrestles.
Whose idea was that? That's another thing that could have saved you a good 3 minutes.
That's yeah. Like I just have a feeling Mercedes just like I could do any idea, and then there are times where Triple H is just like not any idea, and that's what made her great.
Yeah.
Now she could do any idea, and motherfuckers just like, oh,
okay,
okay. It's like, man, thank God you can back this up in the ring, because like if you weren't,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let someone else have the idea for like your video packages, and you don't have to say yes to everything. I know. All right, follow us on the social medias. On YouTube, you're at Home Wrestling League. That's one word. You can also catch our Breaking Kayfabe episodes there, where we talk about stuff that's not totally related to wrestling, but sometimes it's related. Our Twitter at @the_HWL, and our Instagram at home_wrestling_league. If you're listening on Spotify, check out the poll and the Q&A, and give us a rating anywhere that you listen. And as you know, that's how it finishes here. We just finish because sometimes it's too long and there's nothing else to say or do.